there, listeners. Welcome back to the Hero Whispers, our podcast for Supergirls. That is with 2L, the second L for love. And I am your host, Jean Marie, your chief Supergirl, host of the Hero Whispers. And tonight is our last episode in our series on money, 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 money to help our young women be financially free. So in case you don't know what we are or who we are, Supergirls, in case you're new to the show, thank you, first of all, for tuning in and being part of the movement, because we are a movement to inspire and empower college women to launch from college to life, to help them navigate the real world with tools like mentoring and career clarity and networking and, of course, money. So I am super excited to introduce our guest tonight, Miss Maria PEDONE. She was one of my star students at NYU, and she is crushing it in NYC right now. I mean, just recently moving into New York, living in New York, living the dream, and we're going to meet her in a moment. I want to talk to you about her fabulous background. Maria PEDONE loves her job. As Townhouse Digital's Director of Editorial and Social Strategy, she thrives on building authentic, energetic communities for her clients on social media and beyond. With 7+ years of editorial and content marketing experience at places like American Express and Travel and Leisure, Maria can spot ridiculous partnership opportunities, jaw-dropping media, and spelling snafus at a moment's notice. When she's not scrolling for work, you can find her cooking up a storm, pretending to love Pilates, and anxiously awaiting the next season of The Marvelous Mrs. Maisel. Maria, welcome to the show.
Thank you. Honored to be here.
I say she's Maria, Queen of Media. That's what I call her. Maria, Queen of Media. So, first of all, congrats on the amazing career that you have accomplished to date. I mean, it is so inspiring, and I would love to hear the journey and how you were able to just land such great jobs at great companies, and now you're doing something that you love. I mean, that is like the epiphany. When I hear people say that they love their job and they love their career, it's so inspiring because so many people don't. So talk to us about your journey, if you wouldn't mind sharing the story.
Of course. So I guess I can start at the University of Massachusetts, which is where I did my undergraduate studies. So actually was an English major there. And my senior year, I was trying to figure out what exactly I wanted to do. And so I ended up doing a lot of internships that were online, just because of the nature of where the school was. So it wasn't close to a city, kind of far out. So I said, okay, I'll do blog posts online. I'll do anything I can from where I'm at. And so that led me to starting social media accounts for some book publishers that were more local, and doing, online articles, tech articles, things like that. And so through that, I realized, okay, kind of would love to be in publishing, this idea of, media and publishing. And so I was like, okay, well, there's nothing like that at the school that I'm at. I'm from New York, so what can I do there? And I found out that NYU at the time had a 6-week program that was all about publishing. So I decided to apply, got in and did that course, which was amazing. And through it, we were able to hear from a lot of people that were in the industry and sort of what they liked and, what was going on in digital at the time. And after I had done the course, I sort of had this mindset of, okay, I'm not going to get an internship. I want, a paying job, and I, want this, and this. And, the truth was it was harder than I thought it was going to be to get that in 2018. Or 2008, sorry. So, I was like, okay, I'll work at a restaurant for a little bit, kind of hustle, until things come in. Thankfully that network at NYU that I had built panned out. And so there was an opportunity that someone had sent in an email thread for an internship at Travel and Leisure. I love to travel, so I thought, okay, at least I like the content of it, and let's see what I can get going there. So decided to give it a try, and that ended up turning into a full-time role as a digital editorial assistant. So it was me and one other woman. We were running all the social media accounts for the platform in a time where it was really easy to see follower growth organically on social. So, everything kind of just took off. And so I was there for a couple years, eventually left that role to go to American Express, and that was also through a connection. So, I had been there for a while. Things were starting to shift at the company, and so I felt comfortable opening up to certain leaders that I had to say, okay, I am looking outside, what can I be doing? And everyone was very supportive of me trying to find a different role that would, I guess, challenge me more and also, pay more, since, money's what we're talking about tonight. So, so that came in through a connection as well. Someone who actually was a writer at Travel and Leisure had this role at American Express, and she was leaving. So she reached out to me and said, hey, would you want to take this role for me? That ended up working great. So that was a content marketing role, so a little different than social media, but still in the same realm of editorial. Learned a lot there. Was able to work with website developers and different people. So, gained a whole new set of skills. And after a couple of years there, I thought, okay, this isn't exactly what I want to be doing at the moment or in this role. Like, I sort of done everything I could in that role to build up the website that I was working on. And so I did make a bold move, and I left American Express. I had some savings built up. So I thought, okay, I'm going to, just sort of leave and figure out what my next steps are. I left on very good terms with all of my colleagues, still talk to them today. And, after that, I started having coffee chats with everyone that was in my old network from Travel and Leisure, just, trying to see where everyone was at, any opportunities that might arise. And, I was driving somewhere with a friend one day, and my phone rang, and I saw the woman's name who I had worked on social media with at Travel and Leisure. I hadn't talked to her in 5 years, didn't even know how she still had my phone number, but I picked it up, and she was like, you probably think this is a butt dial, but you started a company a couple months ago, and I heard you were free, so would you want to help me come build this company? And I said, absolutely. So it was all through different connections and networks that I had just, stayed in touch with people, and now I'm at a place that I really love.
So that's where you are now, Townhouse Digital.
Yeah, so that's where I'm at. So that was Townhouse Digital, and we're a social media and editorial agency.
So that is the quintessential story of leveraging your network to go from one role to another, learning more skills at each role, and then finally ending up at a really, really cool situation. I mean, that is an amazing story that will inspire thousands. So I love how you, continue to, still stay in touch with people. And that's, the magic of your network. And, you figured out how to do that. You could write a book on that.
Yeah.
Seriously.
Yeah, super important.
Okay. So when you thought about leaving, I'm just curious, when you did leave, when you left Amex, did you have a plan of, at all, how you were going to go about it? Or did you just kind of needed the space to kind of think about it? That's why you left, because you needed the space in your head. I'm just curious, what was your thought process at that moment?
Yeah. So I had, while I was still there, I thought, okay, let me start applying to different roles and things like that. And so I was for maybe 6 months, before I had left, I was applying to different roles there. But for me at that time, I just felt like I really needed space to figure out what I wanted to do. There were certain aspects of the job at American Express that I loved. There were certain things that, I thought that I wanted to do. So what I did after I left was sort of make a list of, the ideal job, which when I said it out loud sounded crazy because I said things like, I want to be able to work remotely, but I also want to be able to travel overseas to cool places for my job. But I also want to do human resources and leadership, even though I have no professional experience in that. I want to be able to write, even though I don't want to be a full-time freelance writer. So I said all of these things out loud. And it just turns out that the role at Townhouse Digital, I'm able to do all of those things. So I've had the opportunity to coordinate photo shoots in Europe and in St. Lucia and like a bunch of cool places. I've had the opportunity to do writing, on a weekly basis. I've had the opportunity to, manage people and train people and get them onboarded in a way that I feel like is fun and engaging with them. So I didn't really, and I guess at the time it was fate, right? I didn't really know that the job was going to encompass all of those things. I just kind of said yes to this opportunity because I trusted the founder of this company. We had a good relationship. And so I felt like, if she really believes in this, then I'm going to believe in it too.
Phenomenal. I mean, you must have learned so much. So how long have you been there now?
So it's actually been almost exactly 2 years. So I started in mid-November in 2017.
And how has your role changed in those 2 years? Or grown or developed, I should say.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's still growing, right? So at the time it was just, when we just started, it was just me and the founder as the only people that were full-time. And we also worked with people that had, part-time roles, but we were the only people that were there full-time. And so in the beginning, it was a lot of execution. So a lot of just all this stuff needs to get done. This needs to get written. Okay, we'll do it. We'll, posting on social, sort of like all of the nit-gritty things that need to get done, and just hustling to be able to deliver all of that to our clients. Whereas now the team is triple the size. So it's been a lot more training, and every time someone new comes on, we find different kinks in our processes and different things that we need to work out, or, okay, how are we making sure people feel comfortable if we're all remote? So the team doesn't meet in an office every day. We have people that work in California and in Texas and New York. So, trying to figure out, okay, how can we make this still feel like a team, but still be efficient and all get our jobs done, well. And, I think now I'm focused more on strategy for our clients. So thinking longer term, what's really going to help them grow their social followings, whether that's partnerships with different brands or we're collaborating with influencers, anything that's going to move the needle beyond just the day-to-day posting.
That is so exciting, Maria. But were you scared when you left the big job, the big corporate job with all the benefits and everything? How did you position yourself, financially?
Yeah, it was tough to leave, and, it didn't really set in until after I had left, and I was like, okay, this is really happening now. So thankfully I had some savings. And so I thought, okay, I'm okay for, this many months. And, I was like, okay, after 1 month, I'll start worrying. I kind of was like, let me just give my space to kind of lay low, not go out a lot, just rest. And then after 2 months, I was like, okay, like, do I start getting worried now? And it was on like the 3 month cusp that I thankfully got this other role. But yeah, it was. I think, I really had to think about where my money was going, more so than I did when I had the income coming in. So, just how do I save, or, if I want to hang out with someone, how do I do that in a way that doesn't cost money, or, what can I do with my time that I don't have to spend anything? What are ways I can still have fun and enjoy the time in the city and not stress as much about finances? So I did kind of felt like I played a tourist where I just kind of walked around the city a lot because I had the time to do it, and it was so warm out. So yeah, and it really was just trying to think more closely about how I was budgeting my finances.
Well, how would you say that you thought about money, like your relationship with money? So like, I'm doing a lot of research now around it because it's a topic that I need to address with a lot of these women that are graduating and have to figure out how to be, financially free. And it's like a relationship like anything else.